Why is Palworld so popular and awesome? Let's go. Little Darky, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, thank you. Palworld, Game Freak is loafing around. Palworld uses game development, is super effective. Palworld defeated Game Freak! What is this?
Pokemon with guns. 3 words that will pique your immediate curiosity and interest. Props to whoever came up with this phrase. Could have been some random on the internet or the Albert Einstein of marketing, because good God, Palworld is doing numbers.
It is doing numbers,
if you've been
yeah.
on the internet in the last couple of weeks, you've no doubt heard about Palworld.
Palworld! Totally not Pokemon with guns.
Look at me, dude.
Yo, let's go. So powerful.
Do I need to investigate you for steroid use?
I mean, have you seen that booty?
Why do you think? And today, this is the question I'm going to answer. Why is Palworld so popular? And awesome. I've compiled 8
'cause it's
reasons why
fun.
in this very video. Reason number 1, word of mouth. Palworld's popularity has surprised everyone.
That is kind
especially
of
its
true as well in a
developers,
way, but I
who
don't
apparently were
think that's the main
considering
reason.
bankruptcy if the game didn't sell well. I don't think they have to worry about that anymore.
Looks like there's been a change of plans.
This game's trailers did not attract a sort of viral attention.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
so
that
what I think we're
that's
witnessing
necessarily true,
is
but
one of
okay.
the most successful word-of-mouth campaigns in video game history. Pokemon with guns is what got me to check out Palworld, and now I'm talking to all of you about it. Okay.
I'm kind of curious because, like,
what in the
I feel like Lethal Company also had a good
See these chickens?
spread on social media, right?
What chicken? Oh my
No,
god.
that's a nice edit.
Oh shit.
That's a very nice edit
Jesus Christ.
of what
We
they're
were so
doing.
close. These are
Guns!
cannons, Blastoise. These are cannons, not firearms.
Man, it
We're
would be so
close.
awesome with
I'd say the chances of
Blastoise.
an early access
Oh,
survival game
that
being
would
this
be so
good is
nice.
about 1 in 8,192. The explosive popularity of Palworld is unheard of in the world of gaming. It's like the polar opposite of the day before.
Oof. Yeah, let's not mention that one.
Power levels that seemed impossible, hitting over 2 million.
But yeah, it's
concurrent
legitimately
players on
fun. Like,
It's impossible.
it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Except me. But honestly, like, I don't think word of mouth is necessarily the #1 reason why it is so popular and awesome. I think, like, it's just generally a very good game, which technically does mean that, like, a lot of people are sharing it with their friends, right? So maybe it does make sense. Kinda.
That is second only to PUBG, the game that arguably popularized the entire battle royale genre. That's more concurrent
But I think,
playing
like,
than Counter-Strike. Fucking Counter-Strike.
okay, I guess,
has
like, word of
ever
mouth
had.
in the
What
sense
is
of, like, it's
happening? Do you
spreading
understand how
virally
crazy
with
this is?
memes
Palworld
and stuff,
sold
right?
over 8 million copies in
There are
less
so
than a
many
week.
artists
It's
making
probably
fan
more by the
art,
time you're watching
like,
it. For reference, Scarlet and
the
Violet
amount of
sold
not safe for
10 million
work art
copies on the
of
first 3
Palworld that I
days,
have seen.
and that was Nintendo's
Oh boy.
biggest game launch of all time.
Let's just say
I'm
the
not sure
pals as anime girls are mwah.
This isn't just insane. It is insane in the membrane. That a random indie developer can come out with a creature catching game that rivals that of the largest media franchise of all time.
It's
It
not
can
that
even
insane,
keep
it's
up with
actually
it
quite
in
easy.
sales, relatively.
Like-
Reason number 2, why
Like, it's not insane because, let's be real, Pokemon really dropped the ball with the latest games. Like, they kind of released poop, and they were happy to release poop. And they were feeding you poop. On top of, like, you know, limited to console and limited to, like, 30 FPS and looking like crap and having issues. Like, Pokemon has been dropping the ball so much that it's totally possible for other games to, like, kind of swoop in and deliver a product that is way more polished.
Palworld is so popular? This is an easy one. It's a damn
Yeah,
good
a
video
lot of
game.
games were
Palworld
bad.
Is like Cell. It combines
So having-
the DNA from all these popular games.
Also, like, before we continue with the video, like, another thing is, like, other games were bad and overpriced. Because I think that's one of the main things that Palworld has it's accessible. People can just get the Game Pass and try it out. People can just like drop what, $25, $30? Like they had a sale on it.
Games in different genres to become this fucking supreme super being. You've got the cartoony art style gliding and third-person shooter combat of Fortnite. They even have shields in this. There's an element of Dark Souls with time
Like they
dodges
definitely
and
took.
the sick-ass butterfly twist, by the way.
What the fuck was that?
That's
I
like the
love
Darth Maul
I love
butterfly kit,
the
Oh,
gun and
shit.
bow dodging, honestly. They're freaking amazing. But yeah, they took really cool stuff from other games, right? They said they don't have a creative vision. That's what the dev said.
And survival mechanics
They
of
just took
Valheim,
shit
Minecraft,
that was
and Ark.
fun
You have
and meshed
open
them
world
together.
elements, a little too similar to Breath of the Wild, with multiplayer guilds. Fuck it, throw a grapple hook in there too. Hey, you want to ride a fat alpaca?
I love
while
the grapple
shooting a
hook.
musket? Sure. They even let players make abominations in the character creator. I shit
Yeah.
you not, because they said Americans sometimes like to make ugly characters. And while you might think it's easy to
Not just Americans, Julia as well. Let's be real.
take ideas and inspiration
She's
from all these
Italian.
different places, throw it in a blender, and hope it turns out great. World War IV taught us that
Uh.
doesn't always pan out well. We've seen plenty of copycat games, right? Doom clones, Halo killers, etc. And most of the time, these games live in the shadow of their inspiration. But we are witnessing something truly magical.
What I really
Palworld
like about
is
Palworld
actually competing with its
is
inspiration.
that
it combines so many different elements of other
it's
games that it actually becomes unique,
making people
like
think it's
South.
another
For a
game.
that feels like one giant shitpost,
sparking a lot of
Palworld is
controversy,
surprisingly
which
deep.
helped in their marketing while being different. Like everyone's like, "Oh, this is just
It's a little
Pokemon,"
fucking
until they
skill
play
tree.
it, and then they can't say
Are
it's
you
Pokemon
serious?
anymore.
Wow. This
Like-
game isn't real. There's so many ways to upgrade your pals and optimize them. It's
I
it's a
think,
much
like,
less
that's
time-consuming, tedious process.
really
than
awesome in my
grinding
opinion.
EVs in regular Pokemon games. Like the way you power pals up is better and more fun than modern Pokemon. What are the offer pal souls? What?
Yes.
Oh, it's not the top.
You have all sorts of different
Give me your
passive,
soul.
positive and negative traits. There's a ton of different moves that pals can learn, which happen in
Yeah, it has,
real-time
like, a
combat
lot
instead
of
turn-based. So like
end
you
game as
actually have
well,
to
like
aim this shit
min-maxing
if
to
you're
please all
controlling
the people
pal,
that like
which you can
min-maxing.
control a whole lot of them. The PvP for this game is going to be absolutely wild whenever that comes out. You know, micromanaging your base with pals and the tasks you give them,
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me of managing villagers in Age of Empires 2.
Oh my
like, a
God, I
little
miss
real-time
Age of
strategy to it.
Empires.
The crafting, resource
That is
gathering,
so-
base building, and pal training are all things you can invest a lot of time into and get a huge return on investment. This game is way better than it has any reason to be. And that leads me to reason number 3.
Which is,
the
like,
content.
Okay, before we get on reason number 3, like, he just literally said the phrase, "It's way better than it should be," which kind of like speaks volumes to the state of games right now and the state of like the user base and what they're willing to put up with. Like, they're delivering a product that is fun, that's refreshing, that has mechanics and doesn't just punish you or delays your time or bothers you with stuff just to sell you the problem later or be annoying. It has things in it that are just there because it's fun. And you can do them or you cannot do them if you don't want to. Either way is fine, right? And he literally just said it. It's like it's way better than any reason it has to. Like, it doesn't have to be this good. People would have bought it if it was worse, which is scary because like there are games out there that deliver this type of quality that just aren't as found. Like, if we learned anything, is that both this game and Lethal Company, like, it lets you just do fun stuff with your friends and just derp around and be idiots.
and polish.
and
This is
not
early
take things
access done
seriously.
right.
It
When you
doesn't
combine the phrase early
throw
access
shit in
with
your
survival
face
game,
like
it's
the
usually a
creative
recipe for
agenda of
disaster.
someone.
But Palworld defies the stereotypes around early access type.
Right, let's
When you come to number 3, the content
let's go back
and
to reason
polish.
number
This
3.
is early access done right. When you combine the phrase early access with survival game, it's usually a recipe for disaster. But Palworld defies the stereotypes around early access titles because
And again, it just works.
somehow
I
it's
wouldn't
more
say
stable and
necessarily it's
polished than a lot of AAA games manage to be. Mechanically, the gameplay is solid, and that's most important.
I wouldn't
It's
say
a ton of fun
necessarily that,
battling
like,
pals, catching them in real time.
this is
avoiding
early access
attacks.
done correctly,
Palworld
but
nails the fundamentals and provides a ton of content at the same
I
time.
do agree, they
It
offer
makes
good
the
polish.
trainer an active participant in the Pokemon formula. And
What I really liked, honestly, about Palworld is the fact that they they prioritize making the things that annoyed people over things that were exploits or annoying, right? Like their bug fix didn't fix the jumping on the ball to propel yourself in the air immediately. They focused on the PAL AI to make bases, to let people be more creative with their bases and improve the AI so that you actually like get through the farm, right? They focused on the things that made it bad to play or made it less fun rather than the things that were fun that were quote unquote exploits or overpowered or just simply things that shouldn't happen. Which I think is awesome because like a lot of companies these days, they don't do that.
And I cannot fathom why that hasn't
Like-
been done before. This is leagues above what most people expect from an early access title. It feels complete in concept, and because of that, I'm not too bothered by the rougher areas of the game. Multiplayer and guilds are a great feature. I played a shitload of Valheim, and just like that, Palworld is something me and the boys are gonna keep playing for a very long time. But multiplayer stability is by far
I want
the
to
most
make a
immediate
server for
concern, as it's
Palworld at
pretty
one
glitchy
point.
compared to flying solo.
But I heard
There's a
that
few
servers are a bit
animations
buggy
that
right now.
could use some work. All right, check this shit. Check this shit.
Oh no, dude. I at least thought like you'd be on her head or something.
On
I'm
her
torn between
head!
wanting smooth
Oof.
animations and this janky funny
Honestly,
shit.
I love that. I love how you go on Mossandra, I think
There's
it's
quite
called.
a few moves, attacks, and equipment that don't have any sound effects yet, but still functions somewhat.
Wee-oo.
Occasionally, you can spawn underneath the map.
Yeah, the
but any
Mossandras.
game-breaking
They're
glitches
very
I've
funny.
found can be fixed by quitting and reloading. Another huge issue is things phasing or clipping into the world. The pathing is kind of janky for the pals.
It is
They don't
pretty
always know
janky,
what to
yeah.
do or where they're going. And the police.
But they did fix
Yes,
it.
there are police in Palworld. This game has a fucking wanted system.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? They took that from GTA?
Stop! You violated the law.
There are probably other games that are the first, mind you, but still.
Am I supposed to be impressed? Should have paid the fine. What's the matter?
You should have
Getting
paid the
tired?
If
fine!
you attack non-hostile NPCs, the police will spawn in your anus like they used to in Cyberpunk. They will follow you no matter where you fast travel.
Yep.
So you either let them kill you or you quit and reload the game. One of the
Or
greatest
you kill
features
them, what do
ever
you
in
mean?
survival
You can
games
just kill
is
them.
being able to access all of
Why
your
is that not
stored
an option?
materials without having them in your inventory.
I did
So
that.
You can build, craft, and do whatever the fuck you want.
I love
without
that.
actually going
Like,
to the
this
box and
system
picking it
is
up
like,
and then
mwah.
doing it. Palworld does the
Like,
one thing that every video
I
game should
absolutely
strive
love
to
that.
do. Give you bang for your buck,
Like, the quality
which
of
is why
life
reason
is
4,
so good.
it undercuts the competition. Scarlet and Violet have been out for 14 months and they're still charging $60 for them.
Yeah, here it
$60 for
is.
that
Here it
pig
is, chat. Oh, Jesus
Did I mention
Christ.
they're also double dipping on DLC? They're selling the same DLC twice, which by itself
Yep.
is still pricier than Palworld. In fact,
There
every
it is.
Pokemon game on Switch is pricier than Palworld. So Palworld is affordable. You can play it on
Yep.
PC or Xbox with Game Pass. It has a small file size. It's
It
easy
would be
to
on
understand.
PlayStation
You don't
if they
need a
allowed
top-of-the-line
early
PC to
access,
run it.
but
It
they
checks
don't.
almost every accessibility box. Not to mention, there has never been an official Pokemon game released on PC. To be fair, Nintendo doesn't really release games on PC at all, but you would think the largest media franchise of all time would at least try to tap
But
into that market.
exclusivity.
Reason number 5 why Palworld is so popular. Memeability. Mercenary with a wounded knee.
This one
I
is
used to be a
Japanese as
tough
well,
trader
Archer.
like you. Then I took to then I took an attack to the knee from that giant pal.
They
A
should have.
Skyrim reference in
They should have gone with the Isekai NPC.
2024. What year is it? On the surface, Palworld presents itself with a cute, cartoony art style, located on a series of islands populated by such adorable critters.
Meanwhile,
This island is a living hell. The people I came with aren't with us any
Meanwhile.
longer. Those damned pals ate every one of them. I tried making graves for everyone at first, but when more than 100 died, I gave up.
What
on
the hell?
them.
I didn't read that NPC before.
of corpses. I have quite the view.
The tone takes a radical
view.
shift towards the macabre at complete random. You know, one moment in Palworld you're
Aw.
catching pals, and the next moment they develop an eating disorder or have broken their legs.
Oh yeah, I absolutely
What?
love
You can force
that.
them to work under
You can,
normal,
like,
cruel, or brutal
Your pals
conditions.
suddenly like need so much
No one's in the
attention.
wrong here. There was nothing to be done
Oh my god, those sad leafies.
because this world
They're so sad.
cruel.
You don't just fight pals, you can fight real people. And you don't defeat them, you kill them. When I think to myself, what is it about me as a Pokemon fan that is drawn to Palworld? Part of it is the dark undertones of Pokemon that mostly go unaddressed. And this is like a satire of that. On the main menu screen, you've got 2 lamb balls on mounted MG42s. There's a pal called Hang You, which in universe is used to carry out public
Yeah, the Hang
executions
You's
by
pretty
tearing the
dark.
skin off of their bones.
It's pretty dark.
Palworld is popular partially because it allows you to do things that Game Freak would never even consider implementing in a Pokemon game. You know, some areas look like they're from a Pokemon game, but then you go to the volcano biome at night and it looks like demon ruins from fucking Dark Souls. What is this?
I can agree with him on that one, but like I can understand that Nintendo doesn't really want to take that franchise, right? Like it's a family-friendly game. You don't really want to like put all of that into it because people would freak out. It does beg the question of whether there is a market for a more mature Pokemon that they're not capitalizing on, like Vaporeon. Just saying.
There's an organization called the Free Pal Alliance. We have 5 traditional commandments. Thou must not eat pals. Thou must not overwork pals. Thou must not abuse pals. Thou must not use pals for experiments. Thou
I
must
read
risk
that
thy
one
life
too.
To protect pals. And it sounds like a parody of PETA, right? But it's actually an accurate representation of PETA because the Free Pal Alliance can often be seen shooting and murdering pals. I think I love being caught completely off guard and not knowing what to make of this game.
Yes,
at
the
any given moment.
hypocrisy.
Palworld is a very funny game, and it's easy for it to spread like wildfire when there's so many meme-worthy moments you can
Yeah,
create.
exactly. Like
Look
the
at way it
memes
fucking walks.
really,
Oh my God.
really sold the game, in my opinion. Like it propelled it.
Main character energy, bro.
Main character energy. Oh my god, he's absolutely right.
Pal and human breeding.
Stop.
He's
Stop right there.
absolutely right.
Okay,
I
you wanna see
tried that.
something
I
else?
tried human breeding
It
with
is number
Lavender.
69 in the PAL deck.
Of course
It didn't
is.
work.
Oh my That's fucked.
That
Dude,
makes
like,
sense.
if anybody like doesn't say that this game is a parody game, they're just lying to themselves.
Reason number 6. The PALs. We can argue about plagiarism and the various
Depresso
designs and if some of them are stolen ideas or not.
made this
which
game 10
some
out
them
of
are.
10 for
Might
me.
cover that in a separate video. But most of them are original. And what really sells me on these PALs is the amount of animations they have and the detail of them. You know, Depresso when he mines looks absolutely hilarious. Moss Panda, before he chops lumber, does a little bow.
Oh,
like
I didn't
sensei.
know
The pals in
about
this game
Moss
function
Sandra doing
exactly how
that.
you'd want Pokemon to function in a game like this.
This
I
is
guess I'll just say, one of the things I
wholesome.
like about this game is you can use your pals for everything you'd want to in a Pokemon game, where like, you know, instead of clicking to use the move, you like get on the pal and ride them to fly them, or you get on the
Yeah.
pal and ride them. and
They're
have them
part
use them.
of the world. And
Yeah,
how
they're
you
part of your
interact
kit.
with it.
Yes. So like the celery you can get, I didn't want to spoil this, but like I think
Mm.
you could literally use them to glide, like as a
Yeah, yeah.
paraglider. Like
Yeah.
you can do shit with them that like you wouldn't think of. The millennial.
I love
audience of
the
Pokemon is
creativeness
so
of it,
massive. I don't know why
honestly.
they don't capitalize on it.
Because they haven't really had to. They haven't had to try.
They just keep getting like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
That is
Someone's
true.
putting their
I wonder
fucking
how
feet
the
to
next
the fire,
Pokemon game
but
is gonna be.
Maybe now someone is.
Like, imagine if you took this exact idea and
Like-
swapped out all the pals with real Pokemon. It would sell millions. Pokemon.
I mean, it definitely would sell millions, although people would complain a lot about like what they're doing, and yeah. But I think that's gonna be interesting. I never thought about it until now. Can you imagine what's gonna happen with the next Pokemon release? That they were planning on just doing the bare minimum and releasing it, and now Palworld came out. It's gonna be a fire.
Pokemon fans
Wow.
would eat that shit up because they have been so starved for innovation and new ideas. You can utilize and control a huge number of the pals, which is one of my favorite features. They can work as gliders or gloves, or you can pull up Lamball and use him as a fucking shield. 111
I
pals,
could not use
all
him as a
designed with
shield.
unique ability. They all have unique animations for a variety of tasks. Some of them have exclusive moves and animations for that too, you know? The personality conveyed through these animations.
Honestly,
is what
like their
sells you
personality
on Palworld.
on some of them are
Meanwhile, Game
great.
Freak's animations.
Oh my goodness!
Reason number 7. Palworld is controversial. Nothing popular can ever avoid
Honestly,
controversy.
yeah.
And Palworld
I agree. Like this, honestly, really pushed Palworld because initially it was hyped and it was nice, and people were like memeing, enjoying, blah blah blah. But people just literally going, "Is this Pokemon? Which Pokemon game is this?" and just commenting on it and having an opinion on whether it is plagiarized or not, whether it is like done like that. All that controversy around it really helped push it.
has been accused of many things like using
I
AI,
agree, Spooky. Like, they
stealing
really need
designs,
to do
plagiarizing
something.
from Pokemon.
They can't
Where's
just
Murkrow?
keep
We
giving
got
us
one.
crap.
Yeah, that's yo. It does have a hat. It has a hat too. That's fucking Murkrow. Yo, that's actually Murkrow.
Okay, that's the first one I've seen that I've actually gone.
Oh,
that's
for
a little
sure,
sus.
Excelia. There are definitely
Yeah,
people
Crow
out
with the
there
hat,
that do
is
give
a little sus. The controversy only
like they're
seems to
happy
be
with how the
fueling
game
people's
is and they don't want it
interest
to
and attention
change.
to this game. But if you think Nintendo or Game Freak or the Pokemon Company is going to sue Palworld and its developers, they had a couple years to do that. They're not going to. And if they can take down this Pokemon mod for Palworld, why wouldn't they just take down Palworld? Reason number 8. This is the last one, and it's big. Pokemon fucking sucks right now. I have been a fan since Red
A
and
lot
Blue
of people
version.
are
For the
unhappy,
25
yeah.
years of
I didn't
Pokemon
buy
experience
Scarlet,
under my
honestly.
Wumbo belt, I say with absolute 100% certainty
Like, it just
that
looked
Scarlet and Violet
boring.
are the worst Pokemon games in the entire franchise, spin-offs included, and they're the best selling. Palworld has innovated the Pokemon formula more than Pokemon
The only
itself
Pokemon
has
that I would
in
like
the
to play
last
is the
decade
Snap.
plus.
That's the only
Pokemon is the
one.
most static,
That was
lazy,
kinda
apathetic
different.
franchise in gaming.
Everything else
Palworld
was kinda,
made
like,
by people
boring.
who learned how to use the Unreal Engine as they developed the game, and yet the game they made is 15 years ahead in technology from Scarlet and Violet. Game Freak and the Pokemon Company haven't had to work. They haven't had to innovate or push
Yeah,
the boundaries
because they
they've had
didn't
a
have
monopoly on
to.
the creature-catching genre for
Exactly.
25 years. Palworld is the first real, genuine competition that Pokemon has had since its
Honestly,
inception.
I
And
hope
you know
that
how
this
I know
makes
that?
them
Because I've only cared
do
about
cooler
Pokemon
stuff and be
since
more
its
innovative.
inception.
I
No other
really hope that it
creature-catching
makes a
games have caught
difference.
my attention.
I am
The
praying
status
and
quo
hoping.
quality of the Pokemon franchise has gotten so abysmally low that I've gotten to the point where I'm secretly rooting for its downfall. I don't want to secretly root for its downfall.
It's
but
not
I feel
gonna have a
compelled to,
downfall,
given the
honestly.
complete lack of effort Game Freak and the Pokemon Company continue to show. Oh my god, what's this?
The industry
It
goes
doesn't
where the
feel
money
like
is.
acid
Yeah, I
being
agree.
poured into my face and eyes when I look at Palworld? No way. Objects
The
don't
question is
disappear
gonna
or
be
render
whether
at 5
people will
frames per
still
second
buy
when
the
they're 2
Pokemon
feet away
games
from me?
as
Holy
much.
shit. You can actually see the entire world if you go high enough. This kind of draw distance would be impressive for any game. Meanwhile, yeah, sure, Palworld was optimized for more powerful
I like that
hardware than the
Pokemon
Switch,
thing.
but, Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pikmin 4, Breath of the Wild. There's tons of examples of amazing looking games on the Switch. The hardware is clearly capable of it. It's just that Game Freak and Pokemon Company don't give a shit, or they haven't been given enough time to make something that looks even
Time,
remotely
alright,
acceptable.
yeah.
You can literally take assets from
No, they
Scarlet
don't
and
care.
Violet
They don't
and
care,
drop
man.
them
They
into
know
Mario
people will buy
64,
that.
and it doesn't look out of place.
Something's not right here.
This is why the Monopoly board game exists. It illustrates why
Monopoly
suck for
board
consumers.
game, oh
you
my
want a creature
god.
catching game? Your only choice is Pokemon. So
Hey,
they'll make it
there's-
as shitty as
there's
they want to,
Temtem.
and you will still buy it because there's no other options. Now
Poor
you have an
Temtem.
option. It's called fucking Palworld, and this is one of the biggest reasons why Palworld is so
I don't
successful,
know.
because it is a great creature
I
catching
don't
game.
think
It
Palworld-
does feel unique.
I don't think Palworld necessarily is a direct competition to Pokemon because, like, yes, it has similar elements, but at the end of the day, it's still a survival type game that people don't necessarily enjoy as much. Yes, you can customize it, so I guess there's that, and yes, there are mods which technically do make any game better at the end of the day. But it's not really a Pokemon game. It's not really competition. I would say Temtem is way more of a competition to Pokemon, and it's definitely not as popular.
The catching mechanic plays out in real time. A lot of fans praised Legends Arceus and hoped that would be the next direction for the series, but it wasn't. No, it was the same regurgitated, stale formula. Isn't it ironic that evolution is such a critical component of Pokemon, and yet this series is incapable of it?
Oh my god, that is such a good point. It's such a low blow.
Going back to quality
I
of life,
love
Palworld
that
actually lets you
observation.
control basically every difficulty setting in the entire game. Meanwhile, Game Freak is removing difficulty
Yeah, that really
options that have
stings.
existed since Gen 1. They actually force the easy mode on you through XP share. It's just Pokemon should have a difficulty
Jesus
setting.
Christ,
I don't
they
want
actually
this to be
remove
like
settings?
Diablo 3 and 4 where I have to beat the game to fucking be challenged by it. I hate that shit. Give me a difficulty option.
I like the casual diss on Diablo, and I'm all for it. You go, man. You go. He's spitting right now.
That I
Holy.
don't have to self-impose on myself, okay? Look, Game Freak continues to streamline the games and make them as easy
I love
as
that.
possible so that 3-year-old toddlers can beat them, and they just want to force you to play easy mode. I hate that shit. Palworld has a level sync feature, so even if you catch something monstrously overpowered, it can't exceed your own level. That's a great way to balance the game. So a huge part of Palworld's success is this growing discontent between me and many other Pokemon fans who
He's
are
definitely
just
going
tired of
all
the
right, all out
complacency,
right now.
laziness,
I
and
love it.
incompetence at Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. So why is Palworld so popular? Well, for all the reasons
Because
I've been
it's
explaining for the
fun.
last 25 to 30 minutes, silly. It's a solid, addicting game packed with tons of
It's
content
really
that
addicting,
absolutely nails the
honestly.
fundamentals
It's
of everything
very
it tries to
chill.
be. And
But
despite
I am a
taking
survival
inspiration
junkie,
from
so
every other game imaginable,
I feel
Palworld
like
manages to feel fresh and
I
original.
can't talk.
It's such a bizarre game, you have to tell your friends about it and spread the game through word of mouth. It's easily memeable, going for half the price of AAA titles, so naturally tons of people are going to pick it up, especially when it bears similarities to Pokemon. It's accessible, easy to learn, and most importantly, it satisfies Pokemon fans who have become hungry for change and innovation.
yeah, it's
I
also
am
like
excited
not
for the
even
future
that.
of
It's also the wonder of discovering a new universe. I feel like that's one extra thing that's added there because, like, while I am a Pokemon fan, and while I do wish I could like have Bulbasaur with me to like use him and the vines to climb places, right? Like that would be amazing for me. I also really enjoyed just breeding pals and discovering different combinations and finding something and going like, oh, what is that? Right? Like just being in awe of a different design and something new and different. So it's not just being in the same universe, it's also like the joy of exploration that made it fun, in my opinion.
Palworld. I hope this game continues for a long time. I hope it becomes a regular series if it maintains this level
I'm
of
looking
quality.
forward to
And I
like their
especially
updates,
hope
honestly.
this Game Freak and the Pokemon Company get off their fat, lazy asses and start making at least half.
Oh my god.
But what do you think? Are there any reasons for Palworld's success and popularity that I didn't mention here? Leave your thoughts and opinions
Oh
in the
my
comments
god,
below.
I
Like the
freaking
video
love
if you enjoyed
it.
and subscribe to the Pal Man for more awesome content. Soft. Alrighty, V1, that's all I got for today. This is the
I
Act Man
love
signing
this.
out. Peace.
It's my first time seeing a video from the Ackman, but damn, that was entertaining. That was funny, comedic, good storytelling, good flow, very interesting video, and that end just sold me, honestly. Like, holy shit. Like, that is amazing. Wow.